In this video, I wanted to share my experiences with the Splatoon 2 single player campaign mode. If you didn't know, I've previously played Splatoon 1, but actually I never touched the campaign in Splatoon 1. So I can't compare this to Splatoon 1's campaign. Even though I played a lot of Splatoon 1, I never touched the campaign because I thought the campaign was too short. I just thought it didn't have a lot to offer and things like that. But boy, am I wrong. This is my first time playing the Splatoon 2 campaign. I'm already, I think, 3 levels into it. There's only 5 levels in total when it comes to the Splatoon 2 campaign. I think the Splatoon 2 campaign will take you around 5 to 6 hours to beat. It's not that long of a campaign, but I wanted to talk about my experiences anyway. So the Splatoon 2 campaign is broken up into 5 different worlds. So you have 5 different worlds. As you can see, I'm currently on world number 3 in Splatoon 2's campaign, and obviously by now you can tell that I'm actually really loving my experiences. I thought I wasn't gonna love it and things like that, and I actually wanted to give the single player campaign an actual fair chance, since I never gave it a fair chance in Splatoon 1, and overall I am liking my experience. So basically on the top right you have these things, I don't know what they're called, but you can see on the top right I do have these ball looking things, and these balls are pretty much points and they allow you to upgrade certain things. I'm going to show you how you can upgrade your things. And then you got the zap fish right there next to the your points. So the zap fish are what actually allow you to move to different levels. You need to collect a certain amount of zap fish before you can go from world to world. And then after you've beaten every level in a world, then you can actually face a boss. And honestly, I'm actually pretty surprised of the boss designs in the game. The bosses are actually sometimes a little bit tough, and actually I love the way some of the bosses look like. And don't worry guys, there's gonna be nearly no spoilers in this. I am going to demo some levels, but I'm going to be demoing the early levels of the game. So if you're thinking about picking up Splatoon, or if you already own Splatoon 2 but you haven't played campaign yet, this isn't really going to be too much of a spoiler. But let me show you what you can actually upgrade. I'm going to go to this thing, and you can see here's some upgrades right here. You can upgrade each individual weapon. You can also upgrade your ink tank so you can make sure that you have more ink to use. I'm currently on level 2 when it comes to the ink consumption. I did upgrade that. I haven't bought any new bombs, but you can also buy new bombs for you. I'm just using the standard, I guess, triangle bomb or the splat bomb, how you would like to say. And then here's some other weapons. And you do actually get different weapons in the campaign. Let me go ahead and change weapon right here. You can see I do have all these hero weapons. And the thing about is there is kind of an incentive to actually play the campaign. Why is there an incentive to play the single player campaign? Well, you actually get some goodies after you beat the actual campaign. I'm not going to tell you what you unlock after you beat the campaign, but you do unlock some stuff after you beat the campaign. So it probably is worth it to at least play the campaign one time. As you can see, there's many different weapons right here. Let me go ahead and pick the hero dualies. I am using the hero dualies right here. And then each world has about 3 or 4 different levels you can actually play, and the levels are pretty complex, more than I thought. I thought it would just be this little boring thing, but it's actually funner than I thought. I want to make this very clear. This isn't Splatoon 2 is not a game you want to buy just for the single player. If you're buying it just for the single player campaign, then you will be kind of disappointed. I don't want to make this sound like that the campaign is amazing. It's definitely not worth $60 amazing just for the campaign, but it's basically what I'm saying is it's better than I expected. Also, there is an incentive to actually play the campaign over after you beat it once. I'm going to show you why you'd want to play this campaign after you beat it one time. So after you beat a level, you can see here's a level right here. You can get these scrolls which basically tell you information about the Inklings if you're curious. I'm going to go ahead and show you one. So go ahead and skip over this if you don't want to see this. I'm going to bring this up really fast, but here's the scrolls right here. And I do currently have one scroll unlocked. It's let me see, it's number 5, and it just tells you a little bit about Inkopolis. It tells you a little bit about the back history of the Inklings and things like that, if you're curious, how they became to be, how the characters developed and things like this. Now these of course are going to be optional, so you don't actually have to unlock the scrolls, and I don't know if they give you any reward for unlocking all the scrolls in the game. They may, but I'm not sure about that. But they are optional, luckily, because some of the scrolls are actually placed in very good hiding spots where it's going to be hard for you to find some of the the scrolls. Now back to what I was saying was, if you look at the bottom right of this if you look at the bottom right of this level, you can see I've already completed it with the standard hero shot, I think it's called. I could be wrong about that, but it's the main gun that they make you start out with. And you can see at the on the bottom right of this tag, I already completed it with one weapon. I have not completed it with the roller, the sniper, and the dualies yet. So as you can see, you can go back to levels and actually play them with different weapons after you're done beating it. And as you can see, I did not get the Zap Fist from this level at all. I still need to get the scroll and the Zap Fist from this level. I'm actually going to go into this level and actually demo some of the gameplay for the Splatoon 2's campaign right now. Another reason you would want to play the single player campaign is if you actually have your Switch on you and you don't have internet connection and you're playing in handheld mode, or maybe your internet went down or whatnot. This is pretty much all you can do in Splatoon without internet connection, unless you want to play the local co-op. But then again, you do need another Switch and another copy of Splatoon, so I don't recommend playing the local co-op, because most likely you're not going to have a buddy who has Splatoon and another Switch. But you can play this if you don't have any internet connection. As you can see, it doesn't have a lot to offer, and you're just pretty much shooting these things. I don't know what those enemies are called, because I actually never played the original Splatoon 1's campaign. There's not a lot of enemies and things like that. And there is some pretty cool mechanics in here. I do want to point out, there is some pretty cool mechanics in the Splatoon 2's campaign that you won't find in the multiplayer section. So there's actually another reason you'd want to actually go ahead and play the campaign of Splatoon 2, just because there's some mechanics you won't see anywhere else unless you play the campaign of Splatoon 2. I don't know how many of these mechanics are returning mechanics from Splatoon 1's campaign, but these are going to be only from the Splatoon 2's campaign. And a lot of the mechanics you're not going to see in the very first level. You have to wait until you reach another world, and some more mechanics keep opening up as you travel through different worlds. So that's pretty cool. Overall, my experience with the campaign is very positive. I would recommend at least playing it one time. But I wouldn't recommend, again, buying Splatoon 2 just for the single-player campaign. If you're buying it for the single-player campaign, you're going to be very disappointed. Pretty much buy Splatoon playing it as a multiplayer online game. If you're doing that, then you're doing yourself good service by buying Splatoon 2 for the multiplayer stuff. This is just pretty much a bonus on top of Splatoon's good online multiplayer stuff. As you can see on the top, there is a timer, and the levels aren't like Mario levels where you have a certain amount of time to beat levels. It pretty much just tracks how long it takes for you to beat a level, which is very nice. So you can go play Splatoon 2's campaign levels at your own pace, which is very nice. As you can see right there, I did indeed get a key, and on the top left, there is 3 little squids you can see on the top left corner. And what do those squids do? They're basically lives. You do have 3 lives, but for the most part, I haven't had really too much of a problem when it comes to actually losing lives. In the later worlds, I've had problems dying a couple of times, but overall, you shouldn't have any problems really when it comes to the Splatoon's 2's campaign. It could get harder in Worlds 4 and 5, but I don't think so, just by the way this game is made. I've been playing a lot of it. And make sure you collect those little balls, because by collecting those balls, those are what you're going to use for actually leveling up your weapons, leveling up your ink tank, and things like that. So don't forget those. One problem I've had with the campaign so far, I've had the problem whereas a lot of the upgrades are very, very expensive. To get your, I don't know about the weapon upgrades, but to get your ink tank have more ink, it costs 1,000 of these little squid balls, and that is very expensive. I just recently upgraded my ink tank to have more ink, and it's very expensive. You can see it's going to take me a long time to get to 1,000 again, and for the next ink to make my ink tank even have more ink the next time, I think level 3, it's going to cost me 1,500 of those little balls. So you can see how long it's going to take you. I think what the developer really intended, for you to play this single player campaign a few times through, just because a lot of the upgrades are going to be very expensive, so you won't get to see them your first time through. You also won't be able to You also will have to go back if you want to play each level with different weapons as it's intended to. I think I heard from some other people, the one thing that this does have, which Splatoon 1's campaign didn't have, is the fact that now you can actually play these levels with different weapons, whereas Splatoon 1, you couldn't play the single player campaign with new weapons unless you bought the amiibo. The amiibo allowed you to play the same levels over with different weapons, which you couldn't do in Splatoon 1. So that is nice. They do allow you to replay the campaign a little bit freshly. You're not just playing the same campaign over. If you do indeed want to play Splatoon 2's campaign over after you beat it, at least there's a little bit more incentive to play it over again just with a new weapon. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make by you going through these levels with different weapons. I'm assuming with different weapons, your tactics are going to be a little bit different and your strategies are going to be a little bit different. I'm kind of lost right here because sometimes I forget where I'm going. Let me see where I'm supposed to be going right here. I don't remember where I'm supposed to be going. I think, that's weird. Oh, okay, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be going. I got to go under here. I'm like, I have to go right under here. And as you can see, if you're not paying attention as well, you will miss those scrolls, which I haven't found. I think I only, at this point, I'm in World 3, and I only found one scroll up to this point. So you can see that scrolls are pretty well hidden. So yeah, it's going to take you a long time if you're trying to complete it with all the weapons that are available in the single-player campaign. And also, if you're thinking about finding all the scrolls, it's going to take you quite some time. Especially also if you want to do all the leveling up of your weapons and all the ink tank leveling up and things like that. And then how the special works in the campaign as well, I want to throw this out here. It's not like how it works in the multiplayer section. You don't ink the turf to actually build up your special meter. What you actually do is, you've seen those cans, maybe they're salmon cans or whatever, I don't know, or they're fish cans. But anyway, you get those cans and it automatically picks a special for you. And each level pretty much has the same special. I've already played this level once, so I guess it's nice I am going through with the dualies on camera, because this is pretty much my second playthrough of this, so this will count towards another weapon completionist. I don't know what you get if you complete all the levels with different weapons. Maybe you get nothing if you complete every single level with all the weapons. I don't know. The one also problem I was experiencing when I first started the campaign, the ink consumption was just so bad. I was running out of ink so bad. It became a real problem for me. But now that I leveled it up to a level 2, I'm not having too much of a problem when it comes to ink consumption of my weapons. Of course, it will depend on what weapon you're using. And here's the end of the level. So I guess I didn't get a chance to use my special, but that's, you already know a little bit about the specials. Don't really need to go over that too much. But there you go. I collected the Zapfish, and I officially completed this level with a new weapon. You can see the time is 6:59. So it took me 6 minutes and 59 seconds to actually complete this level. Now when you go back, you should see that I completed this with 2 different weapons now. I got the hero. What is it called? Excuse me. I guess I don't know the name, but the hero dualies and the hero whatever the regular weapon is, I completed it. Now I only got to complete this with the roller and the sniper rifle, and then I pretty much completed this with all the weapons right there. And I'm not going to show you every level in the game. Some levels actually get a little bit more complicated. I wouldn't say they get crazy, but they do get a little bit more complicated, and they do add in some pretty cool mechanics. That's why I say you should at least play the campaign at least one time through, because there's some mechanics you'll never see in the actual online multiplayer aspect of the game that you'll only see in the single player campaign. Honestly, I wish some of the tactics or some of the stuff that's in the campaign was actually carried over to the online multiplayer, because I can see some of these tactics or some of these mechanics that are in the Splatoon 2's campaign would work nicely in the online multiplayer aspect of Splatoon. It's just a shame they're not. And then of course we do got a boss after each of them, which I've already explained. I can't show you a boss, so I don't want to spoil anything, but that's pretty much the campaign of Splatoon 2. Anyway guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.